Alrighty, welcome to the Texas to Tennessee podcast with Soul Gravy, and tonight we have the Leif Shively Band joining us. So, welcome in, guys. Glad to have you. We're gonna bother you for the next hour or so, and maybe to get started, if you could introduce your band to us, that would be great.
Well, my name's Leif Shively. I'm the singer, and this is Slimmy. He's the bass player and keyboardist, and this is Kyle Root, the lead guitar player.
And JC, he was the drummer. He was just in here. So maybe he'll probably mosey back in here in a minute. If you see someone floating around in the background, it's the drummer.
He was running a little late, so he's setting up gear.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all drummer do.
yeah.
That's what
You're right.
I mean, the drummer's not supposed to have bad timing, though. That's not good.
I know, right?
Not a good sign. Yeah, well, we're thrilled to have you guys on.
It's not like he has it. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not like he has anything to set up, you know. Yeah.
Right, he had to bring the whole house with him.
Continue on. Exactly.
Cool. Well, like I said, we're thrilled to have you guys on tonight, and hopefully we can introduce some folks to your music, and they can get to know you a little bit. But maybe to get started, Leif, if you could give us a little bit of your backstory.
I'm from Haynesville, Louisiana. I grew up mainly playing stuff like Southern rock stuff. My dad was a musician, so I ended up picking it up at a young age. Same thing with my brother. And I've been playing ever since then. I played in a group called Louisiana Swamp Donkey that did a lot of touring stuff as a lead guitar player. And now I'm kind of doing this, and me and this guy started a studio together, Steel Records. We're recording bands all the time and making music and just trying to play as much as we can.
Cool. And from maybe an early age, when did you know this is what you wanted to do, or what point did you figure that out?
I would probably say I knew I wanted to do it at like 10. Just watching my dad, I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. You know, he'd sit around at the piano and play, and I was just like, wow, this is great. That's what I want to do.
And then how recent is the production piece to y'all?
We've been doing production for about right at 3 years now.
Yeah, it was 2021 whenever
that's when we opened.
Really started.
Kyle was already doing some stuff at his own place for a bunch of years, and we just kind of hooked up. And mutual friend. Actually, we met at a show years ago. I think we were playing a show with Colt Ford, and we met up and been friends ever since. Basically, the only two musicians that like to work out. And so all we could talk about was protein powder and pedals.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
And here we are now, 10 years later,
doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I probably need to introduce you to my friend Bill. He also does a little. All right.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the questions with the studio specifically, that from what I understand, your music first started coming out around 2020, 2021. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, sir. It sure did. And the only reason we actually recorded anything first was just because we had just opened the studio and we thought we needed to put something out to let rock bands know that we didn't just do country music here. We could do some rock metal stuff. So we did like a little metal version of When Doves Cry just to do it.
Yeah, we kind of just did that on the fly before the studio even opened up. Just in your...
Yeah, it was kind of spur of the moment. I don't know if you've seen the video for it, but we kind of took on the spoof of the Dave Chappelle thing.
Yeah, blouses.
It's weird. It's like anybody who's younger than probably like 30, maybe 32, I don't think they remember that, which is really weird because...
I'd say about 25.
Maybe 25. Okay, all right. But yeah, so it was never meant to be like serious. It was just fun, and it turned out really cool, Looking back at it, it's like, man, we could have done such a better job. But hindsight's always 20/20.
Well, I think it was really just kind of indicative of what we really wanted to do as a group. Which was just, this seems fun.
Have fun.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. Just kind of gut reaction type deal.
And who cares if
That was
anybody else it's funny.
Yeah,
so we're gonna do it.
Right.
that was the first song I think that my friend Patrick sent to me. He's like, "Hey, check these guys out." So it's usually the other way because I'm sending him stuff from the countryside. He will send me other pieces, but that was the first song that I knew. That's the first time I knew y'all, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" So shout out to you on that. I also love the fact that y'all are doing that. You did a video for it as well. I wish more folks would. I know that costs a lot of money, but appreciate y'all doing that. So I guess I'm a little choppy here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess the next question, and this is probably the oddest question that I'll ask you tonight, but in terms of kind of dividing up what it is that y'all do, I call it the pie question. But in terms of your music, you have obviously songwriting, recording, performing, and then the business side of it. How do you divvy up where you spend your time in those four areas?
We're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really ever figures it out. It's always this like balancing scale of like, oh, this is starting to tip to the left, go back to the right. Oh, it's going forward, go backwards. And it's just I don't think anyone ever truly perfects it, you know.
Y'all definitely kind of slot into your roles. I mean, you're always talking to someone, and he don't ever let you leave the studio. So.
Yeah, never. Basically live here. Actually, so we mixed for like 6 hours today. So our brains are right now fried. We've been listening to snare drums all day.
Yeah.
God bless.
So
I wouldn't have any.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's being choppy off and on. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe maybe let's just look at take the business side out. But if you were going to say importance for songwriting or performing, do you have a preference for either one of those two?
What would we prefer? I prefer songwriting
over performance.
Well, I love performing too, but like the song, like seeing a song come to life is so much fun. I mean, obviously that's why we got so big into doing studio stuff.
Yeah.
I just like making music.
Yeah.
I love performing too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's 50-50. I lived in Nashville in 2000. Well, I toured professionally from 2013 to 2016. And last show I played was the Groundwood Opry, which was my bucket list. And after that, I really got burnt out on touring because, I mean, I was just kind of a hired gun. I played other people's albums. It wasn't stuff I created. So for me, it's really half and half. I like each one of them as equally. As long as it's stuff I'm creating, you know, I can never go back to just playing for somebody and being a robot. Like, and some people love that, and props to them. But like for me, this is it.
Yeah, I definitely see that, especially after.
Yeah.
I mean, because I love the performing and getting to see the people. And
that's awesome.
Interact with them and all that, and it's nice they enjoy what we make and whatnot. And that's primarily that's why I do it, is to get out and actually see your art.
Yeah. The communion of it.
Yeah. Well, what Slimmy's really trying to say is he likes to go out and party.
Yeah.
That's really what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
He's partying.
When we get through recording this song, we're gonna go party.
Yeah.
I mean, after writing and recording, you deserve to go. You deserve to go have a few. So
hell, we're not doing that. We're writing songs about getting poked.
It's
a full 360.
It's going and getting more material to write about.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
Do a little research.
Yeah, it's research. Yeah. You're just doing research.
Yeah.
What a team! What a team player.
Yeah, we'll put that on the extended version.
We could probably write an album about everything that's happened to be this year.
Yeah, I know, dude. God bless.
So So one stays in the studio all the time, one writes songs, and one goes out and has life experiences and research to bring back to the group.
Dude, it's like Power Rangers. Like we all combine.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, because I spend a lot of time with Kyle here. A lot.
Yeah, it feels like you're like, all right, I've been in the studio with Kyle for a while, and then you'll call me, you're like, hey, we gotta go do something.
Let's go out.
We'll go get in some trouble. You're like, all right, see you next month.
Yeah. Don't call me for 4 months.
Yeah, and we're never doing that again.
So, how long were you guys playing music before? I guess when you started music, you were probably doing the cover band thing, individually.
Yeah, I think everybody has.
Yeah. But when did you really start to realize, that I like writing songs or I want to play some original stuff?
I knew when I started playing with Louisiana Swamp Donkey and those guys. I think we started probably 2011, and we got a pretty good deal to go up and record with Richard Young of the Kentucky Headhunters. He produced our first thing, and I was like being in the studio and working with those guys was a lot of fun. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to be doing. But that was mainly in just a guitar role, and which I still love. Like, if I were to be honest, I think playing guitar is more fun than anything. Still is, even over the other stuff. But I like it all. I like the songwriting obviously a lot more now.
Right.
But it's something that kind of had to grow on me a little bit.
Gotcha.
I'm still new into that part.
Understood. Which I guess at this point in time, which one is more comfortable for you? Is it? I know as far as for you personally, is it the songwriting, the performing, or the recording? Which one is home more than the others? From when you started to now.
Well, originally I wasn't that comfortable being out, like, talking to the crowd and singing. Like, I was cool with singing, but I wasn't really cool with talking, like, getting in the mic talking about stuff that has nothing to do with music.
Understood.
Yeah, the small talk.
The small talk.
The crowd work.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, understood.
That was, but over time that kind of goes away, and you're just like, I'm fine up here. Because I was always fine on stage and loved being on stage. But I never had to talk to that crowd. That was a big change up.
Isn't it? That's a weird thing, isn't it? As far as you can be comfortable writing your songs and opening up and pouring your heart out into these songs and everything in front of people, but then when you actually have to talk in between the songs, you're like, oh shit.
Oh man, yes, worse. Like, and even being on camera, like we shoot a lot of commercials with the studio, and that's my world. And it's like, man, I can talk all day about it. And then someone's like, all right, look at this camera and talk about it. It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's got like someone asking.
Hey, the first commercial we shot, I thought he was gonna have a panic attack.
Dude. Oh man. And I've gotten better at it, but it's very intimidating.
It's kind of like when someone asks you, like, what's some music you like, and you forget every song you've ever heard.
Yeah. Or you got a guitar and someone's like, play me a song.
And you're like, oh,
yeah.
shoot, yeah.
I'll play.
And by the way, I guess it is mind-blowing because you've played in front of 20, 30,000 people. You've opened for Brad Paisley. You've played in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I played in front of a lot of people, but that thing is weird being in that spot.
Yeah, there's a definite, it's almost like that is an instrument in itself that you'd have to learn. I guess public speaking in general is difficult. Because that's what it is.
I just like running my mouth. That's a problem.
Yeah.
The scariest day of my life, we went and spoke at a college.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah. Hey, if we start getting off topic, just stop it.
No, that's good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but we so there's a college here in Shreveport, actually Bossier. And they so Bossier Parish Community College, and it's a pretty big staple here in the community. And I actually got certified for Pro Tools back in the day, like 2005, which is like 1987 for people now.
Right.
You're old, man.
Yeah, I'm old. But I got certified for Pro Tools, and we we got called to go and speak at this event at the college I graduated from, and it's like, I can't do this. Like, no, dude. So you get imposter syndrome. You're like, dude, I'm a phony. I'm gonna get on stage. I'm gonna throw up. They're gonna kick me out of there. Like the government's gonna take the studio. Like something stupid's gonna happen. So we had, all this stuff we were gonna say, and like, dude, we get up there and they wanted us to speak for what, 45 minutes? An hour. So no, it was an hour, and I remember hearing that. I was like, dude, there's no way. Like, we need to back out. Pull up, go.
Abort mission.
So we ended up getting there, and I don't know. It wasn't a large class because it's kind of specific.
I think it was like 40 people.
It wasn't a lot. I was expecting a whole, 500 people. I'm on CNN, but it wasn't like that at all. And like people would ask questions that I knew the answer to, and him too. And like before we knew it, they were like, "Okay, time's up." I'm like, "Man, we just got started," and it turned out to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and if another college calls, I would love to do it. So yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. But I guess if I would have thrown up or something bad, I probably would have been like, man, that was the worst experience of my life. It was great.
That was the one time we over-prepared. We showed up with our teleprompter.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we had flashcards. Like, we're the most unprepared people in the world, but we were
like, wait, I still got questions.
It's like one more speak comfortable than anybody.
Yeah.
It just goes forever.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. I in my previous life did a decent amount of that. And I got invited to this fancy school. It was like grade school through high school. So it was like a ton of kids. I thought I was just getting asked to speak at a class. And they put me in a room. The room was connected to I'd never been there before, so I didn't know. But the room was connected to the stage. And they like opened the door and I walked out on stage and there were like 1,200 kids.
No.
From the age of like 5 to 18. And I had to talk about career preparedness, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is wild." So, yeah, same feeling. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the worst, man.
Terrifying, yeah. And I thought, not that this really matters, but I thought I was speaking to like 20, 30 kids, like a classroom. They brought the whole school in, the teachers, there were parents there. It was
the janitor was in there.
I was a little nervous. So
did you start out by making like armpit farts or whatever just to break the ice?
Yeah.
Well,
break the ice.
I'm not opposed to throwing a joke out, but I had to then think about the audience of like 5-year-olds,
right?
18-year-olds. Like that's kind of tough, right?
So, yeah, mid joke you had to bail.
Right. And there's nothing worse from a fan's perspective. There's nothing worse than seeing an artist get up and like try to crack a funny joke and it just doesn't go over, and you just you feel awful for them. But they're just trying to like buy some time while they tune up and whatnot. So
yeah,
it is what it is. All right. Well, I want to ask Leif. I want to ask about. Tell me what it's like to work in the oil field for somebody that has never done that.
Well, I can tell you this: it's not for the faint at heart. It's really hot. You got your FRs on, and I mean, it's 120 degrees. It feels like outside. It feels like you're gonna die some days. And on top of that, the gravel out there, it's like the sun just reflects and it just bakes you in your long sleeve shirt.
rotisserie chicken.
And when you get home when you finally do get home and you're feeling that stick to your back, there's nothing like it. That shirt stick to your back.
Oh yeah.
You can't even sit down. You got to go straight to the shower.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
And how
Take
long?
your clothes off. They stay in the same shape as they were when they were on.
Oh yeah, and everything is now. So there's not always a time limit. So you're there till it's done.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been, or how long were you doing that? Are you doing that?
I'm still doing it. Like I'm doing it now, where it's like a Monday through Friday thing. I used to do a thing where it was 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on. I'd fly out to Pennsylvania. I did stuff like that. It's a whole lot easier doing what I do now than what I did do.
Sure. And
It's way easier.
Did that provide some motivation to, kind of accelerate the music career?
It did. It provided some of that because, like, I don't want to do it forever, obviously. But at the same time, I needed to get out of that to like make a good living because I hate to say it, but even if you're playing big shows and stuff, you're not getting paid what people think you would be getting paid to play for lots of people.
Sure.
It would be different, I guess, if you were Colt Ford or you were the headliner. They're doing great. They're doing really good, but being in that spot, you're doing okay and you're making it by. Plus, if you want to ever have a family, you gotta make more money.
No question. I guess as another question that I was interested in, maybe tell us a little bit more about Steel Records, Steel Studios.
Well, it was founded 3 years ago.
Oh, dude, we could write a book on this place already, dude. It's been wild.
Well, we bought a building. It used to be K's, it was a restaurant. This place is around 4,500 square feet. And so me and Kyle are not carpenters. We are not builders. And after we bought this place, me and him had to go through, lay the floors, load the walls with mass loaded vinyl, soundproof everything. We did things we had never done. Electrician work.
Us and YouTube.
And a drink.
Us and YouTube and a drink.
And a drink. And in fact, one of my favorite things was we opened about 2 months later than we intended with all this work. Yeah. Well, it's not good when like the mortgage just keeps coming and there's no income. So me and Kyle are up on the scaffold one night wiring up these lights that who knows, we probably have maybe the breaker's still on and we're gonna fry ourselves to death. But he looks at me and I look back at him and I'm like, did we just make the biggest mistake of our lives?
Dude, it was a pivotal moment in our want to.
And it was one of those things when we said that, like we're out here with no lights. I've got one of these light helmets on my head, and he's got one. He's holding, and we're looking at each other, and all we can do is like we kind of want to cry, but all we can do is laugh.
Dude, yeah, because we're in it. We're here.
You're fully committed.
Dude, we're in the shit. There ain't no way out of it. Like, it's do or die pretty much. And, like, you gotta forget. So when we bought this place, it was a restaurant, okay? And all the restaurant equipment was still here, and the layout was still a restaurant. So, like, this wall you see behind us, we built that.
We built this wall.
Yeah, it's a
and it's holding up the guitars, too.
Yeah, it's working.
Don't forget your input.
Hey, every day I keep thinking this place is going to burn down because we did the electrician work.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It made it through one fire.
Yeah.
Before.
That's true. Before us.
Yeah. It was wild, man. But, with all that being said, like, I'm glad it happened. If we would have known how much work it would have been from the get-go, I don't know if we would have done it.
Yeah, but you're glad you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely glad.
Yeah, for sure.
So I assume that impacts how you. I know some folks go that direction because they really enjoy or need the extra time in the studio, and obviously we know studio time is. I'm sure it's affordable, but it can be a little pricey. Was that one of the driving factors of going, hey, we'll have access to be able to, spend a little more time on production as opposed to paying someone else to do it? Or was that just kind of an ancillary benefit?
No, I think it's because we love making music for a living. And like I still love playing on other people's albums. So does he, and we love just being a part of the creative process. Like, I love working on somebody else's stuff sometimes more than my own. Just I like. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I've actually heard you complain more than once that you were surprised that you got to work on our stuff less.
I work on our stuff rarely.
There's so many other people coming in doing.
I'm more concerned about theirs.
It's like they're paying customers.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not. So.
Well, and another big driving factor in that was you remember going to all these studios and spending tens of thousands of dollars and getting the mixes back, and it's like, oh, is this mixed? Oh no, oh no, and it was never right, and it's like, for instance, and I can say their name now because they're closed and dead and gone, but there was a studio here called Blade Studios back in 2011, 2012, around that era, Dude, it was a multi-million-dollar facility. It was incredible, dude. They
Oh,
had
wow.
like a 128 channel SSL duality console. Just, it was stupid.
I want to say Dave Matthews was a part owner in it.
Yeah, it was stupid,
Oh.
man. And it was about 15 minutes from the studio. And I've done a lot of session work in there and done a lot of projects, and everything we would get back sounded like trash, man. Like, and yeah, just demos, you know. And so going through all that, it's like, man, like what I just done in my apartment sounds way better than this, you know. So, and it wasn't really the gear; it was the people inside of it.
Engineer or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
How much do you care?
yeah, nobody gave a shit, which was crazy because they were the most expensive studio around here. It was stupid, man. I think the day rate was like $1,500
For a good bit, weren't they like pretty much the only option?
They were.
Yeah,
There's one other.
They could kind of
right.
do that.
Yeah. But, you know, that was just one factor. I mean, we would have ultimately done this anyway. But that was a huge factor for me. It's like, crap, man. Like, I want to do this myself and not have to depend on somebody else, you know, to get this to sound right. You know, because there's a lot of things that go into it.
That you get a lot more time to think about, like, if you get kind of stuck on a song or whatever, you're not worried about racking up time, because you can't. You just got to block.
Right.
You can come back whenever you want. You can take a break as long as you want.
Yeah, because I mean, you listen to your favorite albums, and yeah, the initial stuff was probably, you know, they might have tracked it in a couple of days, but man, writing that stuff, they probably spent years, months, at least weeks, perfect. Because they don't just show up. It's like, all right, I got it all figured out. No, either that time spent in the studio with the producer to figure those little parts out, or you've done it at rehearsal. The hours don't disappear. You have to spend time on it. There's no other way around it, man.
Not to mention getting like a revolving door of different artists that you get to kind of interact with.
Yeah.
That kind of help you
Make it happen.
Yeah, like you're stuck on something, you can talk music and art with other artists, get a different perspective on stuff like that.
Great sounding board.
Well, say I'm an artist and I'm coming in and I have this thing in my head that I want it to be like the thing I'm hearing. Well, it's kind of our job to make that happen and bring it to life, because those are more of a technical thing. The song may be what it is, but it doesn't mean they don't want some part to be perceived a certain way.
Yeah.
And also just the ability to be like, maybe that's not. I know it's like this is you're dead set on this, but maybe try this different route, and then it just it really helps you.
Yeah.
I mean, collaborate for one, but also just learn. Maybe your idea could, maybe someone else's perspective can be a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. You know, if you're by yourself, you can really get stuck.
Yeah, you can't really grow as an artist if you're internalizing everything.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
That's right.
Yeah. So I guess this might be sharing too much of the secret sauce, but I'm curious how you go about recruiting folks or finding new business. Is that something that you can share?
So we've got this flip sign.
Now flipping the chase. He's got this big butterfly net that he chases people with.
Nice.
Yeah, basically, I'm like, get in here. Nah.
So I had a good bit of clientele before we got this place, just from like when I lived in Nashville and doing session work and stuff. And I don't know, it's been crazy. It's like the majority of the stuff that we've had, I hate saying word of mouth because that's not the way. In my opinion, a successful business becomes successful. In this line of work, maybe a little bit. I think word of mouth is a little more powerful than just running like a Facebook ad. And we do run ads and stuff like that, and it does work. But it's really the relationship you have with people, because you can give someone a good song, but they think you're an asshole. They're not going to work with you anymore.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what it sounds like. Every time they hear that good sounding snare drum, they're going to think, man, that guy was a dickhead.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so from my perspective, since I came into the music scene way later than you guys, seeing it from my perspective, it's like it's really just y'all two guys are just really good at what y'all do and really good to work with, because it's like no matter where I go, anytime we go out in public, doesn't matter. I've been in a Alice in Chains concert over in Texas by myself, wearing a Steel Record shirt, and they're like, you know, Leif and Kyle in the beer line. So it's just like it's a lot. It's so much word of mouth just because of the quality of their work and just how easy they are to work with. But that's my perspective coming in, seeing it firsthand.
Yeah. Because I watch a lot of interviews with my favorite producers and favorite bands, and like this Chili Peppers album is incredible. I hear them talking about it like, man, we hate that album. The guy who produced it was a dickhead. It was the worst, and they associate it with that. It's an emotional thing. It's not how it sounds, So you want things to sound good, but I'll be sitting here sometimes EQing a kick drum or a guitar tone, and it's like, man, the song's good. That doesn't make or break the song. And the client's having the time of their life. They love it. Quit killing yourself over these things that no one would probably even notice.
Right.
So I have to check myself because I'll get obsessive over things. Where it's just like, man, that doesn't even matter anymore.
Well, you don't want to kill the creative process, because if they're having a bad time, then it's not going to be a good day for anybody.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I usually ask about, who are your musical influences. I don't even like asking that question because
we would never stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not so much that. I just feel like it's kind of a lazy question from this perspective. But I am interested in who are some of your production influences.
Mutt Lange, Bob Rock. God, what's his name? Butch Vig.
Mm-hmm.
What is the guy who did the Vertical Horizon stuff and all the other stuff we like? I always forget his name. It's a weird name. I love his work.
Remember
that dude? Yeah,
Eric Valentine.
Yeah,
okay.
Eric Valentine, phenomenal.
Who's the guy we were just
Oh yeah, our other favorite guitarist, who's also a great producer. He used to work with Mutt Lange. What's his name? He worked with Keith Urban.
Dan Huff.
Yeah, phenomenal. Love.
He's really good, man. And there's just so many great producers out there too. I get
Chris Ford Algie.
Yeah. I'll get on streaming services and like just try to discover new music, and I'll hear stuff. I'm like, holy crap, man! That's one of the best rock productions I've ever heard. And you look at the producer, and it's like, I don't even know who that is.
Elvis. Elvis.
Yeah, Michael Basquiat's probably one of my top 3 for sure. We're actually working with a band that's recording them now, or that's working with him too.
Oh, cool.
He's down in Florida. Hopefully, he survives this hurricane. It's looking pretty rough. But he's done Seven Dust. He's done all the Chevelle stuff.
Alter Bridge.
Slash. Swanee.
Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
But still, the production is amazing on that. So
yeah, he's really talented. And you listen to your favorite records, and you're like, man, Tremonti's awesome, and he is awesome. But really, the producer is what made it awesome. The unsung heroes.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
I think they make I think they help it come to life with their vision.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, since I think we're at halftime, we want to flip a
Yeah,
song on.
that's fine.
You're a little Leif Shively.
Yeah. Well, as far as your studio work goes, it sounds like most of the stuff that you're naming is more rock and roll stuff. Is that what would be the percentage on? I mean, I hate to put everything in a genre, but you know what I'm talking about. What would be your, I don't want to say primary lane, but what happens to be what you work on the most?
Probably Texas country.
Okay.
I think it's partly location and just people we know. And I think a lot of it too is, with Coetzel doing kind of this grunge rock thing and that whole movement.
Yeah, that new age outlaw country.
I'm calling it like grunge outlaw. It's Nirvana with the country singer or Texas country singer, which is cool. I think with that happening, we've kind of got a lot of those people because, like, at the end of the day, I'm a rock guy. I think everybody here is. I don't know about you guys, but we're
both.
Yeah.
But it's really weird because like your background before you even got into rock is bluegrass.
Yeah, well, I grew up playing bluegrass.
Like we're Brent Mason, both chicken pickers, love that stuff. But maybe it's because that's where we started, and then we got older and we started finding like, oh my God, it's AC/DC.
Yeah, Well, I'll tell you. Actually, I was telling this.
Van Halen.
I was telling this story before we got on here. I remember being in high school because I grew up playing bluegrass. So I lived with my grandparents, and it was Bob Wills and Ricky Skaggs. Like that was it. So banjo, dobro, all that stuff. And I remember going and getting in high school, and dude, I wasn't even in high school. I might have been in middle school. I was probably in like 8th grade or 7th grade or something. And one of my buddies came up and he was like, "Hey man, have you ever heard of Godsmack?" You know those guys. I
Right.
think a lot of people do. They're not
Sure.
as popular anymore as they were back in 1999. But I remember the first time I heard like a Marshall half stack in real life, and it changed my life. I was like, "Holy crap! I want all of these."
Yeah.
Now we have all of them, and I still want more of them. So
It's
it's
normal.
great. But at the end of the day, we're rock guys. There's something about it that's just so awesome. You know?
And like, but it's really weird because we've learned so much of the country stuff. Like, I mean, Roy Clark to Brent to even James Burton. I remember buying the first James Burton DVD. He was the first guy that like had like it was like an introduction to chicken dick.
Was it Mel Bay? Or
It was.
that's who made it.
It's either Howell or Mel Bay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually, I think it might. Was it Hot Licks? It was Hot Licks. It was
Hot Licks.
That's what it was.
I had the Leonard Skinner Hot Licks.
I've got it. I've still
And,
got
dude,
it.
it was this fat nerdy guy with a Strat, and he played it exactly like the
Stuart Bell. It was Stuart Bell.
How do you even know that?
Yeah, dude, I remember sitting in my room for like I felt like months, just glued to it, just like, oh, I gotta learn it.
Were
I
those
gotta learn it.
DVDs like the Metal Zone pedals? Everyone just
Had one. Yeah, it's like why do you have that? I don't know. I just
we all have it. You had to specifically go buy those, like the video. I had VHS.
Yeah, yeah. My first one was on VHS, and I think my mom had to give me a DVD or something.
That was later.
God bless. Yeah, with our dial-up modem. I remember trying to pull up guitar tabs and like I'd click on one and go eat dinner. and then
Tomorrow
come
I'm
back
gonna
and-
play this song.
Yeah, it felt like was it the AOL? I can't remember, but it was like waiting in line for those concert
For the-
tickets for Ragweed.
Oh man,
It was Bell South.
Bell South. Yeah.
yeah,
all south.
yeah.
Good old dial up, man.
Well, we lived in the middle of nowhere. I'm from a town called Haynesville. Like y'all probably never heard of it. Maybe there's 1,000 people max. We have one place to eat. It's called a Chickadilly. That's it.
Nice.
Is it in Podunk or the song
would
is
be
Podrunk? That was that was an attempt to a segue, but I failed completely.
Oh man.
Like the
Well,
guy
actually,
standing
so-
up telling jokes in between.
Did
songs.
anybody go Podrunk to the Chickadilly?
Yeah, so the actual song's Podunk, but we were drunk when we uploaded it, and we accidentally.
Yeah.
Well played.
At the Chickadilly. All right, we'll play that song. You want to give us kind of a rundown of what the song is, what the song's about, and give us some info on it?
Well, you know Slimmy here. This is his theme song.
Well, obviously, I mean, we're in the South. We love to hop on side by sides. We love to go out with our friends and drink. And really, I'll be straight up, going through high school, really all there was to do is somebody hopefully got a keg and got to go hang out in the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
living in a small town in the south.
and sometimes there would only be Boone's Farm, but you still drink it.
Yeah, you
Whatever.
You ain't,
Whatever
got,
you
you
get.
ain't got a lot of money, but you got a lot of time, a little land, and a lot to drink.
Yep. Toyota Tacoma and your friends.
You just
You just make do.
Hey, that's another song right there.
That's exactly.
But yeah, dude, it's just a fun party rock song. I guess we call it butt rock. I don't know if y'all have heard that term.
Dude, to me, it's like Southern rock with metal.
Yeah, it's just fun. I can remember people, and they still do that. Hate on Nickelback or whatever, and it's like they don't care. Yeah, no,
Right.
and
I think
B,
they're fine.
they're not trying to write some Shakespeare. It's a fun song.
Right.
And it's meant to be fun. It's face value. That's all it is.
Hey, well, not many people know this, but you know Father Don was actually a Nickelback fan.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, this side of the bullet, that solo that they do in there, that's Don back. It's solo.
And
Yeah.
everything, that whole legato.
Like
thing.
Benny Ball was really tight with him, and if Father Don says it's cool, it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
There's only two types of people in this world: Nickelback fans and mine.
Because you probably know the word.
Yeah, no, you will absolutely know the words.
Well, Nickelback is at least half a dime, right?
There you go. Thanks,
Here we
Dan.
go.
That's good.
Here we go.
Got a broken down caddy and a 30 rack and natty, lipping skull like candy on the docks. Rolling like a fifth class bottle in a brown bag. Take me to the corner, stop, pass it around, burn it out, throw it down if you wanna. Tonight we're gonna get pro drunk, messed up, out in the middle of nowhere. Red cups raised up, y'all turning up for a couple of cold beers. It's what we do and there's nothing to do. You can call it what you want to, but when the deal's done, it's in our blood. This backwoods buzz. We're jamming songs we like, smoking on a peace pipe, listening to Dimebag Well. Howling in the moonlight, everybody's doing right, drinking every drop till it's dry. We're gonna get drunk, messed up, out in the middle of nowhere. Red cups raised up, y'all turning up for a couple of cold beers. It's what we do and there's nothing to do. You can call it what you want to, but when the deal's done, it's in our blood. This backwoods buzz. Drunk, messed up, out in the middle of nowhere. Red cups raised up, y'all turn it up for a couple of cold beers. It's what we do and there's nothing to do. You can call it what you want to, but when the deal's done, it's in our blood. This backwoods buzz.
Yeah, man.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know,
Flipping skull like candy in the docks.
well, these days not doing skull. These days doing Zens.
I feel like we need to be sponsored by Zen, man.
God, if we don't get a Zen sponsor, we're messing up.
Yeah. We left that life of crime behind. We're tobacco free.
Y'all want to hear something really stupid?
Sure.
We are currently collecting Zen cans, and we've almost got enough to get a TV from them.
That's
We've
amazing.
been saving up for years to get this TV.
I know it sounds really stupid, but like this is our one accomplishment.
Not the studio, not the band,
Nothing.
nothing.
Come on, Zen.
I really hope this TV is shaped like a Zen can.
You would make Dude, we've literally got them in garbage bags. We've been collecting them so long.
That's
You know, sad
it's
I
like,
could show it, but I don't know. I don't want to go that far with these viewers.
it's like the
might
the
be
equivalent of the modern equivalent of collecting the Marlboro pack
Yeah.
patch things
Yeah,
from back in the day.
Gotta
Yeah,
get that jacket.
exactly,
Like Dale.
exactly.
I think my dad got like 2 tenths from Marlboro.
Does he really?
Yeah,
How is he still alive?
I have no idea.
Oh my!
But I did want to say one thing about that song. If you listen to that, like, okay, one of the things I think is cool is if you listen to that, that's a chicken picking solo, and over a metal riff, and there's a lot of like southern rock, like slide riffs. So for us, we kind of want to throw a lot of things in it.
Not to
together.
mention the Dimebag influence.
Yeah.
And Dimebag, of course, Dimebag, Baller Dime.
Yeah.
What
For sure.
how long did it take the bass man to talk everybody into putting the little bass stab there? Wasn't there like
Not
a
very
little
long.
No? Did you have to talk him? Did you have to talk him into that or
They don't really pay attention, so if you just do it,
do it?
sometimes
Okay,
it just slides through.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You get, no one notices. You get past QC, they don't notice.
Oh, that's the thing. We won't like. Obviously, the drumming is amazing. That's JC over there.
What's up?
Yeah, that's
She's back
Jason.
here working in the garden.
We want everybody to play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surrounded by phenomenal musicians, so everybody needs to be shredding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys taken the two Zen cans and not been percussive with them together? I've seen people do that. It makes a pretty wild
Man, what a
sound.
great idea.
Hey, there's a guy out there I saw him do like.
You guys are gonna laugh, but we were actually wanting to get the kick drum to be the Zen.
Oh, we still want to try that for the next one.
Great,
Next video.
great
Yeah.
advertising opportunity.
Yeah, like you mentioned, for the first song we did a video. I think have we done a video for almost every song we did.
We have.
Mine, except for Chase the Stardust, but that was a cover.
Yeah.
No, we did a video.
For Chase the Stardust?
We sure
Yeah.
did.
It was like,
Oh, it was a little short. That's
You
right.
forgot.
yeah.
Well, it was just y'all two doing a promo thing.
No, we did a full music video.
What?
Yeah, it was a full
You were in it.
I did get it.
Like really, like
Didn't I?
dude, like we do so much crap here, like we can't even remember. Like we'll show up here some days and we're like, whose guitar is that? Where did this come from? Like it's like crazy, man. It's like some like weird time zone where it's like random things pop up in the studio.
Yeah.
That's how we found JC.
Yeah, he just appeared.
Showed up. Yeah, nice.
And by the way, just to let y'all know, like JC was the drummer for Scale the Summit. They were a big prog band.
Okay.
He's, like I said, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Very cool. Very cool. So as far as your studio goes, I mean, we can listen to your music and everything, but are you at the point where you're willing to take whoever pays for time, or are you do you kind of have a certain direction you try to go towards, or how does that?
So like when we first started, we were just trying to make it work, and I think two things. I think anybody who starts doing this, they're going to record people they don't really want to record,
Understood.
And I think once you even get up to bigger projects, just from producers I've seen and things I've seen, you may be doing a project that pays well, talented, but your heart's not really in it because you don't like the music, Luckily, kind of where we're at now, we can kind of curate who we would want to record.
Makes sense.
Send us a demo and let's see.
Yeah, and for me, it's ultimately about, we were talking about working with assholes. If there's an artist out there who's not cool or not fun to work with, I don't care. I don't want to do it. And in the same breath, there might be someone who's really great, really nice, but their songs aren't good. And no matter what I do to these songs, they're not going to be good. So it's kind of a balancing act between the two. But yeah, I mean, to put it all in a nutshell, yes, we're open. Yes, we would like to take your money. Yes, we would like to produce your song. But if it sucks, we're going to tell you. But we're not going to be like, hey, dude, this sucks. We're going to try to help you fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
we want you to walk out feeling that this was great experience.
Because at the end of the day, our name's on it too. So I'm not going to let someone walk out the door that's
that was kind of my I guess my reason why I was asking that, because in the end it's a sales pitch for you too, for the next person in a way.
Yeah, totally.
So
Well, yeah, totally. Everything you do is not going to be, the Beatles. Like you can't. Because for me, like I'm a Type 3 personality. If you know about Enneagrams, I'm always trying to one up myself. It's never ending, and sometimes I have to step back and be like, man. Like for instance, we had this old guy come in. He might have been pushing 70, and he was wanting this acoustic EP stripped back. And in my mind, I'm like,
I was going to ask you about something like that.
This most badass thing. I want to make this thing big as shit. And so I
put an orchestra behind it.
Right. And all he wanted was acoustic guitar, a little pedal steel, and percussion, and good sounding vocals. And so I quickly, I was like, okay, calm down, self. Like, he doesn't want 100,000 didgeridoos. Stop.
I know the whiskey situation.
Right. So, you kind of have to really cater to what the artist wants. And that's a skill in itself, being able to get inside people's heads and know what they're after without having heard it yet. And at the same time, you kind of got to steer the ship and be like, hey, dude, I like that idea, but that's not going to work. we need to try this. Like you always said, you got to have a solution to everything. You can't just be like, man, it's not going to work. You got to have, hey, that's not going to work.
It's got to be constructive.
Yeah, here's the reason why, and this is what I think we should do to make that happen.
And sometimes a good reason, one thing we do is we'll be like, okay, let's give it a try. Let's see how it sounds.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you never know, because like you said earlier, you're not always 100% right.
Yeah.
You don't always have the best idea.
That's exactly right.
Which is another thing that it hasn't really been a subject yet, just due to the area we're in. But when you're talking about curating who can come in, genre has not really been a varied genre. It's not really been a situation yet, because it's mostly just been like rock and southern rock, country stuff like that.
Yeah, we've done some pop stuff. We've actually got an artist. She's a younger girl coming in. She's very pop. And I like, if I had it my way, I would do pop or pop rock every day. Like that's what I would love to do. But the majority, like I said, probably just the location here and just people that we've networked with thus far. That's kind of our bread and butter, is the Texas country thing, Texas country rock thing. But I'm open to anything, because I listen to everything.
I was about to say, we were, right before we started doing this, we spoke for 45 minutes about 6-7 different genres that we were all super into. So there's nothing that we're limited to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I'd love to try.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up on Skinner. My first concert that I got taken to with my older brother was Tool.
Yeah.
That was my first concert. It was Tool.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, I think as a producer, like whoever is the producer, whether it be me or you or anybody, you're going to fall into producing, and I call it the law of attraction. You're going to produce what you listen to the most, what you like producing. Because I could produce a jazz record. I love jazz.
Oh, yeah.
I play jazz. But I don't want to produce a jazz record. So I'm probably not ever going to produce jazz records. I'm not going to be known for that. And there's a lot of producers out there, like Eric Valentine, for instance. He was on an interview and he was like, man, I had this band call me and they wanted their album to sound like Bob Rock's album. And I was like, Eric said this, he said, I told the band, man, you should probably call Bob Rock. So you got to, so you want to work on things that you know that you're going to be, I don't want to say good at, but passionate about. I'm not going to be passionate about a jazz record. I would do it, but I don't want to do it if I had the choice.
Yeah, we also remember the last time you played jazz. That was
Bad timing.
When was that?
at the
memorial.
Yeah, at the memorial.
No one wanted to hear jazz at the memorial.
And so, as music producers and studio guys and everything, when you hear albums that aren't that produced, say like you were talking about, say like some of the old Tyler Childers stuff, where it really is him, a guitar and a mic, and he's just doing his thing. Not to say that it's not mixed, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How do you? Does that do you nitpick it to death, or do you just enjoy it how does your brain work in that situation? Do you nitpick it, or do you just enjoy it?
Stuff,
It's still a great song. It's producing a vibe.
yeah.
It's still a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because I like his stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like for instance, if you listen to oh God, what's his name? Zach Bryan.
I was just going to say, yeah.
So his stuff's very raw. I personally like raw stuff. I like Led Zeppelin, like how that was raw.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Zach Bryan's not talented. He's very talented, but I think what he's doing sounds like a bedroom demo to me. And he's trying to write that off as raw, but really to me, it's just not good. I think there's a definite way to go about being raw, because I have endless albums I listen to that are quote unquote raw. Some of the vocals are out of tune, blah, blah, blah. I think it's cool. I could probably never, you're talking about nitpicking it.
Yeah.
If I was producing it, I would nitpick it and it would become a polished maybe not overly polished, but I could never produce something that raw because that's not how my ear works. But I can
Understood.
listen to it and appreciate it.
That's what
Well,
that's.
it's weird though, but you're like one of the biggest Cross Canadian Ragweed fans I know.
Yeah, for sure. I still think their albums were too raw for me. But
You
I
love
can
the songs.
and at the end of the day,
Okay.
it's about the song.
That's kind of what I
The
was getting
vocals
at.
are
Are you able to
loud.
put that ear down? You know what I mean, and enjoy other
For
people's.
sure.
But are you
Yeah.
always listening to those for those perfections
No,
or
it's almost like
imperfections?
a It's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde thing for me. I can listen to like the older ragweed stuff, and I'm listening to the nostalgia of I can remember being 17 and listening to those songs and being like, "Holy crap, man! The guitar tone's incredible." And now it's like, dude, that mic's way out of phase. The engineer didn't flip the polarity, and like that sounds so bad. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the songs were great.
The parts were great.
Because dude, we could have someone singing to a $15,000 signal chain with the microphone and everything, and if they're out of tune, it won't matter how expensive that signal chain was. It still sounds like crap. So it's you get what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Vibe more than
Yeah. But I can definitely turn my brain off if I'm listening to music that I think is either like demo quality or it's just like not produced very well. As long as the songs are good, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to catch you is the songs.
That's the worst part about art.
Yeah.
Is that it's like
Yeah.
it could be objectively not great, but you'll love it for some reason. You can't quite explain it.
Yeah, there's something about it. And to me, it's almost like going to McDonald's and getting a Happy Meal or something. That's like, man, this is the worst food in America.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But I really enjoy this Happy Meal. I don't know why. Or it's like one of those TV tray dinners, those freeze dinners. It's like, this is terrible, but why do I like it?
Yeah.
It's like ramen noodles.
Well, like, dude, if we go back and listen to some of the Pumpkins' earlier stuff that we do like,
Yeah.
some of that is not the best quality of sounds, but the parts and the songs were great.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm guilty as far as listening to a lot of music that is not that's not polished. I don't know why, but I really I'm a big ragweed fan, just like you guys were talking about. And part of what I do like about it is that it's not perfect. You know what I mean? And Cody doesn't care that it's not perfect. And he was able to pull that off in the Nashville world for a while too, which is kudos to that. So
That's what he said.
also, but yeah, a lot of Chris Knight, all these different things that I like. It's not.
Dude, Chris Knight's one of my favorites, man.
It's a little rough. So
Dude,
which I
I'm telling
like.
you, man. Oh, dude, trailer tapes, some of the best stuff.
You ain't kidding.
And dude, that production quality is barely to me like bedroom demo, but there's a vibe to it, and that vibe is in the actual songs.
Yep.
Because if the songs sucked, you'd probably be like, I ain't listening to this crap.
I mean, I love his albums, but those two tapes, those two albums actually are. A lot of those I enjoy more than the studio version, just because, like what you said. But one, it just matches his voice. Too.
Oh man,
it's like you said, it's a vibe. But
dude, I'm telling you, dude, I think the song "It Ain't Easy Being Me" that's one of the greatest songs of all time. Like, man, so he's got so many. I could sit and talk about him all night. He's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about his sound. If you polished him up, it wouldn't be as believable.
No, not at all. No, not at all. Yeah, definitely. I know he's extremely popular, but I still think he's underrated. But
Totally, man.
Anyways, Talbot, you got any of your rapid fire questions?
I do. I have rapid fires, and we'll start with Leif and go around the circle if that's all right.
Are we back?
We're back. Welcome back.
All right.
We thought maybe the question was too tough.
We're like, man, we're out of here.
Screw this shit.
Had a convene on the question campfire.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do rapid fire around the similar circle there. Leif, if you'll start with your desert island albums. You got one album you got to take with you on a desert island. What's it going to be?
Only one? Ooh.
Only one.
Oh, I already got you. I got you.
All right.
Oh man.
Oh, one album. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's too tough. I would have left too.
Zeppelin 3.
Zeppelin 3.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I named my son Zeppelin, so.
There you go. Very
You're
nice.
pretty sure about it. What are you?
Oh, I'm ready, dude. Nobody, I bet nobody would ever know this band. They're called Dredge.
I do.
Yeah.
I know Dredge.
I've heard the name.
DREDG, and the album is called El Celio. Okay, the whole album is a concept album about sleep paralysis, and it's freaking phenomenal. And the vocals are very kind of operatic, but it's kind of space rock too. But the production's unreal. To me, it's the best. It's probably the best album of production I've ever heard in my life. Someone else may hear it and be like, man, that sucks.
I wouldn't say
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because I keep getting torn. Because like my I'm just thinking about like the first albums that I ever like had that were mine I didn't listen from my parents and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was like Meteora and
Yeah.
and like front to back. Never have I listened to that album front to back and been like skip. No, it's always front to back. Same with Artwork by the Used. So I'd probably say Meteor, honestly. Yeah,
That's a good pick.
That was my first. This is my music that I picked.
This is my identity.
Yeah, this is my whole identity. The day I die.
Hey, y'all are in luck though, because I was gonna pick Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. That's my number 2. That was out with Nookie on it. Which that was a good song, but the whole album is freaking incredible. I think Terry Date, the producer,
It didn't
Date,
get the credit it deserves. No question.
dude, no.
Yeah.
I know we need to get back on track with the questions, but I'm talking about Limp Bizkit. Okay, this is my favorite topic, guys. Okay, so I got a tattoo last night. No. So, for my birthday, my fiance got me tickets to see Limp Bizkit. They're one of my favorite bands, and so I'm expected to be good. But holy shit, was it good! It was incredible, dude. If you ever get a chance to see Limp Bizkit, go see them.
They're probably better now than they were towards the tail end of their first round.
Yeah, they could do whatever.
Wes Borland does write incredible riffs.
Yeah, he's a genius, man. So good.
As far as a band and being tight and everything, they're probably a better band now than they were. You know what I mean?
Probably so.
Before their break.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. Question number 2 of rapid fire is bucket list venue.
Ooh. Bucket list venue.
Bucket list.
Okay. I got a weird one.
That's a tough one.
The Chickadilly parking lot.
Yeah, been there.
Like,
We've already played that.
Honestly, you're not far off.
Pull the flatbed out.
Played one of those like basement shows that's just packed,
Dude,
packed.
Yeah, like from the punk rock scene.
And
like,
you just play until the cops clear everybody out. But you're playing and they're right there.
Yeah.
And you can just that's that kind of show that I love.
That would be cool.
Stadium would be
I would say it would be the Grand Ole Opry, but it'd rather be a stadium.
Dude,
Stadium.
So my bucket list was the Ryman and Grand Ole Opry, and I played the Opry, and then the next night I played the Ryman, and this was in 2015, I think. And the Grand Ole Opry, it was cool, but I was nervous as hell. Who wouldn't be? But it was very all right, you got 10 seconds to tune your guitar, and then we start. It was so chaotic. It wasn't fun, but it was cool that I played it. The Ramen
was a radio show still.
The Ramen, I really enjoyed the Ramen. But venues I hadn't played, this is kind of stereotypical, but I think Red Rocks would be incredible. Just for the scenery.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So for me, it'd probably be Red Rock.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. First concert that you went to, and then first concert that you actually paid for.
Ooh.
Could be the same answer.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to remember what I paid for.
First one for me that I went to was obviously Tool. First one I paid for, I want to say was that I actually paid for. I went to a bunch of concerts that I didn't pay for.
Actually, okay. My first one that I ever saw was Journey when I was 5. It was Frampton and Journey.
Wow.
I remember seeing Frampton and freaking out because I only knew him from my parents' cassette when he had the hair. So like, that's who's that? But them and Journey. The first one I paid for actually was over at the Riverside Warehouse.
Yeah.
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that, like, we got there. I found out it was on the radio. They were like, Anthrax playing September, whatever. I was like, that's tonight. And I walked in, talked to my buddy. He was like, we're going tonight. And he goes,
We're doing it.
oh, okay. And we get off work, still in our uniforms, speed to the warehouse. We get in there, and they're playing Cotton and Mosh. And as soon as we walk in the door, we get thrown in. And it was epic. Oh, my God.
Dude. So
Cool
my first one was Ted Nugent, Leonard Skinner, and Deep Purple.
Oh man.
Like on a tour together, and I'll never forget it, man. I was front row, somehow weasel my way up there, dude. I was like 14. I had been playing guitar maybe 2 years. I had been wearing that Leonard Skinner Mel Bay DVD out, so I knew all the licks, And Steve Morse threw me a guitar pick, and I actually have it here framed somewhere. I hadn't hung it in the studio yet. So that was the first concert I went to, but the first paid concert was Seven Dust.
Oh, my gosh.
At the warehouse.
At the warehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought about it. Mine was Blackstone Cherry and Rustin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They were a great group. Also a great group of guys. I got to know them a lot better later. Actually, like his son is the Kentucky Headhunters. Richard, his son is the drummer for them.
Okay.
Really
Oh,
good.
I knew they were Kentucky dudes, but
Yeah,
couldn't-
all really good dudes.
yeah, that's cool.
All right, last two. You get to have dinner with one historical figure. Who would it be? It could be musical if you want. But
Literally what?
Oh well, I guess since he's gone, for me, I'd have to say Eddie Van Halen.
good choice.
I have a lot of questions.
We all do.
Like, how much did you soak that amp in all actuality?
Right.
How much did you power soak it? Was it 50%?
For me, I'd probably say it's Mutt Lange, the producer Mutt Lange, just because he produced all those guys, and I bet he has endless stories.
That would probably be great.
Hey, he'd probably tell me what I should be doing right now.
You might as well get some use out of it, right?
Y'all both picked like musicians and whatnot. And that was not.
Pam Anderson.
No, actually, no. I was going to say Cleopatra. She ruined.
Oh, okay.
Hey, no, she ruined like 2 empires. I kind of want to know what that's about.
Oh wow, how bad was she?
I mean,
Wow.
they're like, yeah, she knew so many languages. She was so smart and so beautiful. All right, let's see it.
That's interesting.
It's a solid answer.
That's a hell of an answer.
I mean,
I was way better than ours.
she ruined Mark Antony, Julius Caesar. Like,
We're over here like Marlon Cyrus.
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
yeah, like I want to see what she was all about.
Hey guys, I want to change my answer. Hitler.
yeah. Bring it in.
It's like, hey man, what hits for real?
Adolf, what the fuck, man?
What was going on?
Come on, man. Look, really?
How'd you style your mustache?
Yeah.
All right. Last one that I have, and then we'll move to the important question of the evening. We'll let you all get out of here. Tribute bands, yay or nay?
I love me some Matchbook 20.
I'm into it. I mean,
All right.
we're doing a tribute album for Ragweed. I don't know if Leif talked to you about that, which is kind of different, but totally, I'm into it. I if they do it right, and there's something about going to a venue, and if they're doing it wrong, you're still into it because they're still playing the songs you like.
Sure.
That and whenever a tribute band goes to like, they'll play like specifically like earlier stuff, something that you wouldn't really be able to see anymore.
Yeah. There's something about that too.
Or to go back to like Linkin Park, that band Hybrid Theory that's buzzing around. That
Right.
stuff that it's like being able to see stuff that you never actually did. It's not the same, but if it's if it's good natured,
In the ballpark.
the job of it's in a good spirit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's actually over in the UK, there's a Pink Floyd tribute band, and I want to say they're selling more tickets than Pink Floyd ever did.
It's crazy talking about. Like, they're selling out stadiums.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You know, my thing is, I love tribute bands as long as they're like really passionate about it.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we have fallen for one. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We got halfway through the set list before we realized that it wasn't the actual band.
yeah. We were drunk. So.
We were, but still. We had a text telling me like that don't.
I was high when I said
That
that.
don't look like the singer, guys, and we're like, oh.
Because it's not.
Yeah, that's a solid story.
Yeah.
Why were VIP tickets so cheap, man?
Okay, long story short, we were in Dallas, and I was like, you know what? Like, these tickets are pretty cheap. You know, I've never seen Matchbox 20. Let's go check them out. I didn't read it real close, and it was Matchbook 20. In my defense, I was drunk.
Yeah, me and him were just having a great time. We get like 75% of the way through the set. We're sending him videos, and he goes, guys.
Hey, Rob Thomas is looking a little chunky, ain't he?
He really let himself go.
And we're just like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, no.
Bob
that's
Thomas.
great. Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
All right, so I want to ad lib. I want to add one more question because you were talking. I wanted to ask you this earlier. You mentioned being around Kentucky Headhunters. You mentioned Nashville, all these different things. Who are some folks that you've during either your band stuff now or even just in general that you found yourself in a room with or around and you were like, holy shit, this is pretty cool.
That was
I know who you're going to say.
yeah.
You're going to say Jarrett Reddick.
I'm gonna see Jared Reddick.
From Bowling for Soup. We did some stuff with him.
Yeah, we had Jared in here tracking vocals on a song, and that was really cool.
That was one of those rare cases where you meet a celebrity and you're like, I really hope they're like really, really cool. And
He
wanna
was.
throw down. And,
Yeah.
and he 100% like killed a case together, talked for hours and hours.
Yeah,
and
that
hours.
dude could drink.
That dude,
Yeah.
is the nicest guy in the world.
Man,
I've been trying to get
I'm
him
going to
on.
give you a surprising answer because
All right.
I didn't know who he was at the time. I just knew all the songs he had written. Tom Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was.
I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he has written more massive songs than anybody.
He's like one of the top 5 writers
So,
in Nashville, right?
I'll tell you you'll know exactly who this guy is. Little Rock by Colin Ray was his first hit.
Yep.
Everybody knows that song.
House That Built Me.
Sure.
And it's a list that's so long, it's absolutely stupid when you look at it.
Yeah, it's
yeah, if you click on his discography on Wikipedia, it goes to a separate page.
Because he was telling us they just, Paramount just did a documentary on him. You don't know Tom, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out.
And like he was in here and I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, a good buddy of ours who works here with us, Blake Griffith. He works for a publisher in Nashville. He's written some songs for Tim McGraw. He's had a good, successful career. He's a good buddy of ours. And he brought him around. I was like, oh, hey, it's good to meet you. And he's like, oh, this is Tom Douglas. I'm like, good to meet you, man. How's it going? I'm not thinking anything about it. And like Kyle's like, Tom Douglas. It's a good song.
Yeah. You bow. You bow.
That's fun.
But it's crazy. Like, there's so many unsung heroes like that in the music industry who aren't the face of anything, but they're like the reason behind everything, you know. And a lot of those guys, like Tom, like he's so unassuming. Like, he doesn't look like anybody or act like anybody. He just enjoys writing really good songs, and he's really good at it.
That's gotta be a pretty cool life to live. To be,
Yeah.
and to be able to just pull gold out of the ether every time. Like, I don't know who that one guy is that writes, like, if you've ever heard a popular pop song on the top 40 radio, it's from the same guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. I think he lives in some volcano lair or something. He like throws some chicken bones into a bowl, and he's like, all right,
Let me conjure up the hit.
yeah, party in the USA. Give it to Miley Cyrus. She can do it. Get rid of the Hannah Montana thing. That's over. And then I don't know. He completely dictates pop culture.
Yeah, but yeah, seeing Tom in here, it was really cool. We've had so much stuff go on. Like, I probably after this podcast, be like, oh man, we should have name dropped that guy. But
Well, I mean, Brian
Understood.
was great. We worked with him.
Yeah.
yeah, that was really cool.
He's a good dude. Great songwriter. Fantastic.
God.
Probably one of the best.
Yeah. So Brian Martin, he's singing a song on this tribute album for Ragweed, and he was in here cutting vocals, and I'm sitting here doing my thing, and it's like, man, it's one of those moments just like, okay, this is happening right now, not in the future, but right now.
Actually, we have a song coming out with Brian on one.
Yeah.
Speaking of those kind of moments, whenever
We're doing a version of How Rough Next Roll with
singing, he kept doing the high
worked no
harmonies,
filter.
high harmonies. You're like, oh, you're about to Sebastian Bach, and he's like, oh, that's so funny. I'm gonna text him that real quick. You're like, you gonna text Sebastian Bach?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one other thing to answer that question, maybe finish it out. But so anytime someone comes to the studio, we give them a tour of it, because I call them artifacts. So one of our really good buddies, he's the tour manager for Kiss and Motley Crue. His name's Rob, and he's a very quiet, introverted guy, and he actually lives here close to the studio. He's a family friend of ours. And he brought some really cool stuff to the studio one day. Right when we opened, he called me. He was like, hey, dude, is the studio open? And I was like, yeah, what's up? He said, well, I got some stuff I had in storage I wanted to drop off. So I'm thinking like a little U-Haul truck, Well, this 18-wheeler shows up, and the driver's like, I got your stuff here, need you to sign here. So he opens the trailer, and the stuff for the studio is in the back, or in the front of the trailer. But in front of that was Foo Fighters gear going to their next show. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And Rob was like, yeah, there's some stuff in there for Motley Crue's tour and Kiss's tour.
Don't forget the Kid Rock Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another.
Yeah, so we got some of Ace Frehley's guitar amps here and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah.
It's on the Black Album. Right?
Yeah, it's
We
like
do.
right out of shot. We got one.
We got the vintage Hiawatha over here.
Yeah, it's right out of the shot. It was, legend has it was used on the Black Album.
Wow.
Metallica. Yeah. So
That's super
whether
cool.
it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm going to say it is.
Yeah.
Speaking into existence.
Exactly. All right,
Nice.
man. All right, here is the toughest question of the evening. It is a requirement. It started on episode 1 as a joke, and it's been there ever since. And you're in the South, so you'll know exactly what these are. What is your favorite Little Debbie cake?
Jesus Christ.
That is not a Little Debbie cake, but very important.
Oh,
Well, not the way you make them.
I don't know if this counts, but man, I'm always a fan when the Christmas trees come out.
dude, I love
I love the Christmas.
It's a global vote, the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still counts.
No, they are.
No, it
That
counts.
counts.
They are really
No,
good.
the little
Yeah.
guys, they count.
No,
Tis the
it's-
season.
They're all
It's,
alive, so they got to be. The
Hey, if they want to sponsor us with some Christmas trees, we're available.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Same here. So,
Same thing.
Dude,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we had Zens and those Christmas trees in the studio, we'd be unstoppable.
Nice.
It's like,
All right,
unless you
so
go
what-
represents and Christmas tree dedicates. We're going right now to the studio.
You want to take us out?
Yeah, guys, appreciate you joining us tonight, and it's been fun. We've learned some things. Hopefully, there's some new ears that heard your music tonight, and can't thank you enough for joining us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, man.
Thank you for dealing with us.
Yeah.
It was easy.